Hump Day. We have some cool stuff happening today. I will be talking to Hillary about today's episode of The Business Of. We will be digging into some real life hot topics. Then I'll be wrapping it up with what episodes you can expect to watch today on ROI TV. We have got it going on this fine Hump Day. See, I can't do it.
Every time.
Every time I can't do it. On this fine Wednesday. That feels much better. That feels like home. Anyway. All right, so let's dive into some hot topics. Today, we're kind of getting into a couple of topics that are a little like futuristic, a little sci-fi, but very much our reality.
Right.
At the same time. So our first one is the IRS is now going to start using facial recognition to log into your like portal, right?
Yes, if you have a IRS.gov account, you will have to use facial recognition in order to access it.
I mean, I thought it was funny about the article. They were like, so from now on, you'll have to like, log in this and give a selfie. And then I immediately just pictured all of these people like, Social Security. You know what I mean? But like the whole concept of facial recognition, I feel like to a lot of people, I'm not going to say all because I know that's not true, but we've been using it on our phones like all day. And so to me, it's kind of like a seamless transition because we're already doing it.
Yeah, I think if you're accessing it on a mobile device, it's super easy.
Yeah.
I do think that it's harder for people who have desktops or maybe don't have the access to...
They have older operating
systems. Maybe they've still got a floppy disk drive. I don't know.
Oh, bless. Floppy disk drive.
I think the only thing that kind of threw me off on when I was reading this was that it's contracted by a third-party company. Mm-hmm. And they have some funny things where they can keep your biometric data for as long as they choose. And you have to sign those terms when you sign in.
And part of those terms are that they can't sell it or lease it.
Right.
Right? Well, I didn't know that was ever going to be an option.
Right. But they could update their terms at any time and you have already signed them, right?
Right.
And also you have to sign those terms in order to get access to your IRS account. So you don't really have the option of saying, no, I'm like how you can with cookies these days, where you can say, no, I don't want those cookies, but I'll take these cookies instead.
But what? 2 questions.
Yeah.
What's up with those cookies? What are those? What are the cookies?
Cookies, well, I'm not a web person. My understanding are cookies are like the trail of data and information that you leave behind when you're visiting like a website. So
because I'll go, accept all?
So it just depends on how much of your information and how much of your browser history, I believe, you want a company to have access to just by you accessing their
weird that we're
web page.
Like
now, I'm not a web person. I am not IT. I am not tech. I am probably saying this very incorrectly. That is just my understanding. Is that
I'm just setting you up right now because
totally. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So tell me about cookies.
They're things you eat. I personally like the batter.
That's more like it.
That's what I go for. Yeah.
Well, I just am obviously this is something I really don't know that much about. I don't know what the threat is if someone starts selling the biometric. I don't understand why that would be of desire to someone. What does that benefit someone? Why would it? It's your. What is it? Is it to get into your personal information, or
I don't know? But
it's also black market.
But it's kind of like the same thing that you sign up for one website's newsletter, and they might sell your email address to a different site, so then therefore you're getting 5 spam emails a day instead of just the one you want from.
Yeah, I'm definitely experiencing that at the moment.
Seriously.
I've reached that point now where it's time for a new email. Because there's too many to just delete. It's too late for me now.
Just start over.
I have to start over.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, it's interesting. They did say, though, if you already have a pre-existing account or you don't have, the right equipment to be able to do it, there are other ways you can do it. It might not be the easiest to figure out. It might be a process.
Right.
But it is possible. So if you are, listening to this and you're like, I do not have that. I am not ready to be giving a selfie to, access my own information. Fear not, there are some other options. It doesn't mean that you are, blacklisted from your IRS account.
They still want you to pay your taxes.
Yeah, they sure do. They will find a way to get you in. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Exactly.
So the next topic we're going to talk about is
the metaverse.
I can't.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's like equally cool and equally like gives me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, I don't get the hype personally. I have a hard enough time like figuring out what I'm going to wear, live, like do with my time in real life, let alone like having to also do a secondary.
I mean, I like
version.
Sims, but like this idea that people are buying fake property for millions of dollars, like property next to what, Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg, $4.3 million is what that went for.
It's not real.
Right.
He's not really there. Like, have we gone so far down, like, the social media rabbit hole that we are starting to believe these things are actually real?
Yeah. Well, that is the plan, is to basically make these into reality. So then people, I guess, are staying in their houses and just...
So we're just stationary.
Stationary?
And I
don't know.
See, that's where it gives me anxiety, because sometimes I'll get that way with social media as well. It's like I think sometimes, you get so engrossed in that world and how people are portrayed in that world, and you almost feel like you have a relationship with how people are like projecting themselves to be on their social media platforms. And as we all know, that's not realistic.
No,
right?
Not at all.
I feel like it's like a slippery slope that we're going down right now of technology, and I want to have real life,
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I don't know. It's so funny. Like, part of me understands why clothing designers like Nike is starting to sell
fake
clothes and fake shoes, or like not fake, but like virtual.
Where do you put it?
On your, I don't know if it's called an avatar, but you
have an avatar and you dress them?
I assume so. I mean, why else would you be buying shoes and Nike clothing?
I don't know.
To be there?
They like put pictures of it in their closet.
But and a lot of other like retailers and clothing designers are starting to do this as well, because it is becoming a bigger market.
I mean, this is like, I don't know. You know what? Talk to us in like 5 years and we'll be like, oh my gosh, my avatar just bought.
Right, exactly. I just got an Hermes bag I just got a Birkin.
They did warn you though that the return probably, if it's not maybe the best investment opportunity, at least at this point. And I kind of like that, because I was like, don't draw people into this. This is scary.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah, there was a professor at ASU who was quoted in the article saying that this is not based on anything in reality, so it most likely will be a bubble. Who knows? Again, 5 years from now, it'll either be the biggest thing and super normalized, or we'll look back on this and be like, hey, remember when other people spent a lot of money on something just on the internet?
Like they're paying to buy tickets to watch virtual Paris Hilton DJ at some metaverse location, even though it's not her. It's like not her. So I don't know. People are probably watching this and they're like, I just bought my house and I really like it. And if you did, okay. And I wish I could talk to you because I want to understand it. I want to understand the psychology of this. But if you agree with me, you can leave comments.
And if you understand it or have a different point of view, you could also leave some comments and we'll listen.
Okay, fine. But yeah, it is interesting. The world is, we've talked about this before, how technology is just, it takes off so quickly. And I was just talking to my mom about this. I was like, imagine how fast technology has taken off from when she was a child to now. And she just says it's unbelievable, really, when you look at it. And so, wow, it'll be interesting to see what all we get to observe in our lifetime.
It's true.
It's already been a lot in our lifetime, hasn't it?
It's already been a lot just in the last 10 years.
Yeah, really. Whoa.
Right?
Flying cars, it's going to happen.
Woo.
You won't need them because you'll be living in the
Metaverse,
but whatever. Anyway, we have a new little Wednesday segment that you're going to tell us about.
Yes. So we are starting a new segment today. It is called Healthy, Wealthy Wednesdays. So here at ROI, not only are we all about financial literacy, but also financial wellness, which
mental wellness, financial wellness.
Right. And actually they go very much hand in hand.
Definitely.
Because when you are stressed about your money, when you're stressed about your financial future or your financial present, you're stressed.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
I think that's just a huge component of people's stress is finances always. No matter how much money you have, there's just something about it. It's all consuming, isn't it?
Yes. In fact, the American Psychological Association did a study, and 75% of adults said that they had been stressed about money at some point in the last month. 25% of those surveyed had said that they were extremely stressed. And so, I think it goes back to this whole mental, physical, it's a holistic wellness future.
Yeah, and it's honing in though on something very specific, which is a very specific part of what is causing this level of stress. And I like this financial wellness. When I first heard it, I was like, are you serious? Do we need to get a bath bomb out?
This is actually a little bit more concrete, but it is part of your self-care.
No,
and it feels
like
it should be part of your self-care routine.
Yes.
And so the tip for today is to make a plan, which seems very simple, but it can be a little bit daunting for people. So, take a look at, and I think this is also the right time of year to do it too. Everybody has started their New Year's resolutions.
Taxes
are happening.
Yep.
Lunar New Year started yesterday, so it's a new year for a lot of different cultures, not just the actual Gregorian calendar. So I think that this is the right time of year to sit down and make a financial goal and a financial plan. So compare what you want to do with your money versus where you are now, and then how can you action what you want to do with where you are now.
Yeah.
Set deadlines for yourself. And, as with all things wellness, be gentle.
Totally.
And sometimes your goals, sometimes things don't go the way you want to.
Right.
But try and work towards those goals, because the less stress you have about your money, the better you can feel.
Right. And finances can be so complicated because depending on where all of your money is and what you want to do, I also think, because for myself, sometimes it can become the whole picture of it can become too overwhelming to suddenly take on. So even just maybe taking one part of that and saying okay, what can I do with this? Or what do I want from this actually? And just focus on that one thing. And it's slowly that stress will start stripping away as you start just making some movements forward with it, right? Even if they're small, because I have to remind myself that, because sometimes I get too overwhelmed by the big picture of all of it,
Right. Because there are so many facets, but if you just focus on one area, do you want to save for a trip that you may or may not get to take because of COVID? Who knows? But say there is, or another big purchase, you want to buy a new car this year.
And committing
to setting aside a set amount of money every month so that you can do that. And maybe it does mean, cutting back on a couple other places or moving some money around. But, making the plan, taking a big picture look and then making the plan and then trying to set yourself up for success by sticking to it.
I like this. I like raising awareness towards financial wellness because it is real. It's real, and it's a conversation to have, and people should have with each other and help each other out, and we've got a whole channel devoted to it, so you can always stop in here.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's it for Hot Topics and our new segment. What's it called?
Healthy, Wealthy Wednesdays.
Healthy, Wealthy Wednesdays. How could I forget? I love it.
Anyway. I love a good alliteration, rhymey really situation.
I do too. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be right back to talk to Hillary about her show and what show is going to be airing today, right? Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. We're back, and we are going to talk to Hillary about her that is going to be airing today because you interview Max Escobar, right?
I do. So Max is from Audio Mac, and he was just in the Latin Billboard magazine with just how he has grown the Latin music portfolio at Audio Mac exponentially since he started there.
Wow.
Just a really interesting guy. Has a really cool story on how he got into the music industry. He was in professional sports before that.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's kind of a cool story.
Yeah.
But then also what was really interesting and was really great to learn from him, his leadership style and how he's really grown his team and his philosophy on growing your team and treating them really well in order to have them, put out their best work so that they feel included in decisions and they have a vested interest in everything going well.
Oh, so just creating like a really safe and communicative work environment and how that has helped with the success that he's
had. Yeah, exactly. Oh. So I think it was just a really, he's a very nice guy as well, very easy to talk to. But really, it was really cool to learn a little bit more from him on his leadership style and how he wants to continue to grow the Latin music portfolio at Audio Mac and even beyond that.
I mean, it's just such an interesting, like anything music related is such an interesting topic, like how people can have careers in these like really cool industries and all the different jobs there actually are as well. So I just feel like people are going to love this.
And that's one of the reasons why I've really loved doing the business of, and we have some other great episodes that will be coming out this season, because there are so many interesting jobs out there and you kind of get into a lane and you know what you do, you know what your friends do, you know what your partner does, but you don't know how other people got to where they are.
Yeah.
So really excited for this season to see all the different people that we have coming on.
Yeah, you've had an awesome variety of people and career paths and everything. And it is, I mean, it's really, really interesting. I've really enjoyed watching them.
Good.
So everyone, tune in tonight for The Business of.
Indeed. Every Wednesday we'll have a new episode.
Yay! Today's episode of Estate Planning 101 is tips for funding your trust. Okay, so let's say you've built your estate plan and your trust. Now what? Scott Trout is going to walk you through how to make that trust function most effectively. We also obviously have the business of, which we just talked about with the really fascinating episode with Max Escobar tonight, so don't miss that as well. Another one of our newest shows will be debuting on our station today, the Blockchain Interviews. This week's interview is with Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategies. This is a huge interview to watch if you want to know what is going on with Bitcoin and how MicroStrategies is utilizing Bitcoin in their company to generate growth. Thank you so much for watching, and
catch ROI TV on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your phone on the iOS or Android app.
Or, just kidding.